Welcome to the first elimination round of Squid Game Season 2. All 220 participants have reached the secret island. They were allowed to take a rest for a day, during which, they were told about the prize money and other rules and regulations. They are also assigned the numbers from 1 to 220, which are printed on their t-shirts too. For the first elimination round, they have been asked to stand in a circle formation, on a podium on a large ground. After that, the Red Mask Army explains the game, as follows. Light with the green and red signals will start blinking randomly. If it stops on green, the game begins with participant number 1, else it will begin with participant number 2. If the game begins with participant number 1, it proceeds in this way. Participant number 1 will stay back on the podium. Participant number 2 steps down from the podium. Again, participant number 3 stays back, and participant number 4 steps down, and this pattern goes on till participant number 220. All those who have stepped down are killed there itself. This brings the end of the first cycle, and no killings takes place in the subsequent cycles. Now, the game again continues from participant number 1, and stops only when just one participant is left on the podium. So, after all the even number participants were killed in the previous cycle, participant number 1, 5, 9, and so on, will stay back on the podium, while participant number 3, 7, 11, and so on would have stepped down. The game continues the same way till only one participant is left. Once again, note that no one is killed after the first cycle. You need to note that from the second cycle, every alternate participant stays back or drops down. So, for example, at a certain stage, if participant number 217 stays back, and the next participant is number 1, then the number 1 will drop down, and so on. Similarly, if the light stops on red, then the game begins with participant number 2, and all the odd number participants would have been killed in the first cycle. After that, the game continues in the same manner till only one participant is left. This participant, surprisingly, gets a sumptuous dinner treat on that night. Now, here comes the question for today's contest. If the light stops on green, which participant will get the sumptuous dinner treat that night? Write the participant number of the winner in the comment box.
You can pause your video over here to think about the solution. Post your answer in the comments section under this video. Now, let's look at the solution. We will understand the game assuming that there was a green signal, which means the game would start with participant number 1. To understand the scenario, let's start with a smaller group of people. If there are only 2 people, then participant number 1 will stay back and number 2 will step down. So, participant number 1 will be the winner. If there are 3 people, then participants number 1 and 3 will stay back and number 2 will step down, in the first cycle. Afterward, participant number 1 will have to step down, as number 3 had already stayed back. So, number 3 will be the winner. If there are 4 people, then participants number 1 and 3 will stay back, and numbers 2 and 4 will step down, in the first cycle. Afterward, participant number 1 will stay back, and number 3 will have to step down, as the alternate person stays back or steps down. So, number 1 will be the winner. Now, if we observe the pattern, we can come up with the following table. From the table, we can conclude that when the number of participants, n, is a power of 2, the number of the winner is 1, and then it moves in a sequence of odd numbers till the next power of 2 comes. Now, it is easy to solve the problem. We need to find the winner for n equals 220. The nearest power of 2 is 128, for which the winner would be participant number 1. Every subsequent increase of 1 in the value of n will result in a jump of 2 in the number of the winner. So, the number of jumps due to 220 equals 220 minus 128 equals 92. So, the winner number will be 1 plus 92 times 2 equals 185. See you in the next elimination round, where the remaining 110 participants will fight for their survival. Please don't forget to hit the like button and share it with all your friends. Also, do subscribe to this channel.